It's my time, it's my season, and I've got a good reason to open my mouth. Gonna let it out, open your mind, grab your friend. Hope you listen to the end. The vibe is good and learning meets on She Who Speaks. Hi, and welcome to another episode of She Who Speaks. I'm Renee, lover of a good laugh and all things behavioral. With me is Marilyn. She's unassuming, but with a good listening ear, and the unstoppable force with an angelic voice, Love Min. Together, we are She Who Speaks. We're so happy that you've taken time out of your day to just sit with us and talk with us and let us be part of your lives. If you are new, returning, day one supporter, but you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead, take this time. We'll wait for you. Hit the subscription button. Go ahead and like so that our algorithm will be triggered and more people will be able to see the content. And if you like what you heard or you have questions and feedback, go ahead and talk back to us in the comment section. So, ladies, before we go into revealing what we're talking about today, I feel like there's something that's been happening recently that ties kind of nicely. Well, not nicely because it's not nice, but it ties into what we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
So I'm talking about Kirk Franklin and his son. I think his name is Carry On.
I think that was the name.
So
I probably mispronounced it, so you
yeah,
get it.
I don't know. I just found out about it last night, and this has been apparently going on for days. But in case you don't know what we're talking about, Kirk Franklin and his son were involved in a heated, passionate conversation on the phone. I think there were profanities and stuff going on in the conversation on the side of Kirk Franklin. His son, unbeknownst to Kirk, was recording the whole thing and then leaked the video. We can talk about so many aspects of it, but I'll start off by saying what Karen and I were kind of talking about as it related to that. We were saying, he was asking, what are my thoughts? Do I think that Kirk needed to apologize to his fans? How do I feel about the video? And I'm going to start off with my opinion, and I'm totally aware it may not be a popular opinion. So for me, I'm all for people sharing their experiences and speaking up and giving voice to what you're going through if you feel like that's what you need. Not going to take that from you. What I'm not in favor of is me recording. So I'm totally aware that this conversation is happening and I'm recording it.
Mhm.
But Marilyn isn't aware that I'm recording this conversation. So I'm being controlled and thinking through how I'm responding to Marilyn and probably even egging her on. And
Mm-hmm.
Marilyn is just being raw because
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't know that she's being recorded. And then for
Mhm.
me to take that and then use that to almost tarnish Marilyn's reputation, I wasn't in favor of that. I also didn't think that Kurt needed to apologize to his fans because let's be honest, if people were to follow us around in our daily lives, we would need to walk around and apologize to our office, to our church, to our parents, to these, like, we just need to walk around apologizing. Am I saying that I agree with the words he used? I mean, we can go into the Bible and talk about words and fishermen that were like cussers because their mouth wasn't clean. Like, there's so many different ways we could go with that. But I kind of want to hear what you think, ladies. What do you think about this whole scenario?
Marilyn, you want to? How you?
Sure. So, Renee, I'm with you. Like recording someone without their consent and then put it out there so the world can hear a conversation. And by the way, we don't know what was said before, what was said after. It's just a piece of that conversation that he
Mm-hmm.
just put out on Instagram. That is a low blow. And I don't feel, just like I don't feel he needed to apologize because um, I don't, my mom was not someone cussing, but occasionally, I mean, and it was like it was understandable. Like we are all human. And I feel like I talked about it with Jason and with other people that agreed that although our parents are like Christians and very polite people and very control, and even us,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't come out of our mouth. Let's be honest. I'll be the first one to be totally transparent. Sometimes it comes in your mind.
Yeah.
So let's not be hypocritical and
Mm-mm.
and pretend that we're humans. Like it's just Peter started to cuss when they asked him if he knew Jesus.
Yeah.
And the Lord still forgave him. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, of course, when you do something, there are consequences, but I feel like it was something private.
Yeah.
And if you feel like it was necessary to apologize to his son, they themselves, they know what's the issue, they know what's the trigger here, they know their history. So I would be fine with that. But apologize to the rest of the world, as you said, René, and let's all put our sins out there and just like it's just. And he's a grown man. Like, come on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I'm not with it. He's just a man, just like us.
Mm-hmm.
I agree on the fact that this is not our business. That was a family matters that we didn't need to know about, and that should have been kept private. But at the same time, I think as a public figure,
Yeah.
Kirk Franklin is, let's be real, he is the pioneer of gospel music. Like we cannot deny, even if you don't listen to gospel like that, you cannot have some knowledge about his impact in the music industry. So the reality, this man has a platform. And even if he didn't own an apology to us, I think we needed to see this humanity from him. Like we need to see that he's aware that this is that's out of control, out
Mm-hmm.
of proportion. But and like I feel that this conversation, I didn't like even if I didn't need the apology, I appreciate the apology in the sense where it let me know that you're aware that,
Mm-hmm.
bro, you went out the line. And because we follow you, some people like unfortunately they look those musicians, those Christian, he's a Christian leader in his sphere of influence.
Mm-hmm.
They take him like, I don't want to say like a god, but he's what he does has an impact.
Yeah, highly
And
influential.
it's important. So for me, I understand it was necessary for him to own it publicly, that at least, I mess up, and that was private. Now his son, uh let's listen. I don't want to say it's a Haitian thing, but let's be real. if if my mom, when I don't know how old he is, but like 15 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
if what my mom told me, if I had social media back then and I record my mom would have been in jail, you know. And she's a nice person, but as a parent now, I understand that, I push her sometimes, And from my understanding about this issue, they have like a real family dynamic. It sounds like there's a lot of hurt, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
pain, a lot of unresolved issue that they have to deal with. And my understanding too is like they try to mediate, they try to have a therapist, and
Mm-hmm.
that it didn't work. And I understand that that you get to the point like when I did everything, what can I do more? I try to provide this life for it, but at the end of the day, we don't know what's happening behind doors. So I'm not here to judge also the son,
Your son.
but just but his action to just put his father like that on blast. What was the motive? But I just think that it's a lot of pain that we're not aware, and they have to figure it out.
Oh
But
yeah,
that show us the power of social media. Like this is a different era.
I
It's
hate that.
different.
And it's probably why I didn't like it so much. I hate when people like air their dirty laundry online. Like call me old school, but I don't like when people like just express their frustration or like start to get personal and attack people online. Like I really like, if you know me, I really hate that.
Yeah, it's not
Anything that
cool.
is done in that manner, for me, it's already I already question your motive when you put that out there. So, and I would be so embarrassed if someone has done that to me. So,
Of course.
ah, it's
Unfortunately, we
horrible.
don't have really control about it
No, we
nowadays. I
don't.
feel like it's so accessible. It's on
Hmm.
Yeah.
our.
Mm-hmm.
Then I feel like now I remember back in the day. I don't know on Facebook. It was a time when Facebook just started. I remember I used to put all my thoughts. Yeah,
Right,
eating my
right, right,
apple this morning, jogging, and do you know. And then one day I have to realize that Facebook is not my therapist.
right.
No, no.
And then
Oh.
and then you give people the illusion that they have this access to you, so
Mm-hmm.
then I have to create boundaries, but I have to be, but then it was challenging because I create the situation. I kind of invite you in my space,
Hmm.
and then when you kind of noisy, I'm like, how dare you be so noisy? uh,
But
but like I have to take responsibility on the fact that maybe I overshare. So now I had to learn to balance my presence on social media. Like when I
that is
put something is I
true.
choose to, and I can handle the consequences of your stupid question if they happen to be stupid.
Listen, listen.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
us, tell us what you think though. You've heard all three of our perspectives, some similar, some different. Tell us, what do you think? Do you think that he owed us an apology or not? Understanding that we're not advocating for the content of what he said, not saying it was appropriate because it was not.
Mhm,
Just did he owe us an apology?
mhm,
But I like what you said there in the last part, Love Min, because it's the perfect segue for what we're talking about, which is social media presence. How do we balance it with reality? And I love how you mentioned that you used to, you see my little alarm kind of telling on me. Um,
Yeah.
how you mentioned that you used to kind of put everything out there and then kind of having to set boundaries and stuff. And you mentioned Facebook, but I wonder what was the first social media you had? Do you ladies remember?
mhm. I do. So that's it's really French. There was this radio show that
Hmm.
used to have like on their website a blog. You can create kind of like a blog. It's called Skyrock,
Hmm.
and I used to have a. I don't know if you remember.
I do.
my-
I do.
and it was like a blog, and you can put picture about your friend. It was a kind of a mini blog,
Hmm.
but then one of the first one that I used was MySpace. MySpace was okay, because I sang in a group called One for God. We were doing a lot of gospel music. It
Hmm.
was a good platform to promote your music, but at the same time we were making really great connection worldwide at that time. Then we had Facebook, so now it became almost normal. You talk to
Hmm.
people from all over the world, but back in the day we used to connect with people from Brazil, from America, Canada, and just because we have common interests, that was for me, that was really something
Yeah,
cool. What about you, Marlene?
that's awesome.
So I didn't I knew about Skyrock, and I knew about MySpace, but I never owned one of these. I was living through my best friend Skyrock, picking up her pictures with her, the one that she wanted to post and stuff. And sometimes I was like, can you put our picture together? So I have one too. So that was really my first like encounter with social media. And then I was late to the party. Once again, I was influenced. So I joined Facebook. I think it was 2008 or 9.
Oh, it's not late. Is it
Right.
late?
So
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's not.
And then, but I was always, I'm a very private person. So I was always like conscious about not too much and stuff. So yeah, that was my first steps. And then, yeah. And of course, Facebook and then Instagram. And that's about it. Like I tried TikTok recently, but it's an account that like I think only one person I've seen. So and it would stay that way.
Girl, you're better than me. I haven't even tried that yet. My first social media accounts, girl. This is how old I am. I'm aging myself. High Five. I was on High Five for a minute.
Oh,
Yeah,
Good.
didn't hear about this one. Sorry. Okay.
you know.
But it's not because you're old, because we come from
We
another.
from a different country.
Yeah. That's
Viewers, don't leave me hanging, please. Somebody drop High Five in the chat. Don't leave me hanging. Was I the only one that was on High Five? Like it was on High Five and MySpace, and then I eventually deleted it. But I think I joined Facebook in 2007, so not too much long before you did.
Mhm.
But I'm the same way. I think when I was younger, I was a little more open. You know how like with Facebook, they'll show you this day 7 years ago. And
Oh yeah, yeah,
sometimes when
yeah,
I
yeah.
see what I wrote, I'm like, ooh, okay,
Yeah, me too.
Inspired.
all right. And then I'm private. So sometimes like I would want to celebrate stuff, but then I'd write it in such a cryptic way. Like I'd write it in such a code that when it comes back 7 years later, I'm like, what was I talking about? Like I can't even celebrate with old Renee because I don't know what she's talking about. Like God is so good and what he did. And so I thought, what? What are you talking about? But mm-mm.
So
Right.
what do you like now about social media? What is the thing that you like about social media?
Hmm.
Mm.
Personally, I think I mentioned it in my getting to know Marilyn video. But honestly, for me, it's like an escape from the world. Sometimes you want to laugh. Sometimes, like for me, I like to laugh. So I'm always looking for the memes. I'm always looking for like the debate that something happened that is funny. Like that's what I'm really looking for. And but recently, I've been a little more focused on trying to find people that can inspire me. If it
Mm.
makes sense. Like sometimes I like good quotes or like people who not too much because sometimes you're like hating too, but people people who work out and stuff like this. No, I'm joking. Just like saying, wow, like I need to do better with that.
I get you though. I
So
get you though.
yeah, yeah. And then just like people that inspires you, like positivity. That's what I like in social media. I like positivity. I mean, sometimes you get a little nosy here and there too,
Yeah, of course.
but but most of the time it's really like to also to celebrate people, like you see all their evolution, their
Mm-hmm.
family and stuff, and like you're just happy. I'm happy for other people. So I like to see people accomplish great things, and it's just a cool way to see to stay in touch with family and people around the
Mm-hmm.
world. So that's mostly what it is for me. No more than that. Nothing like it's not a therapist to me. I don't put my business out there. Like no,
Yeah.
none of that.
Girl. Similar. I think it's similar for me. My favorite thing about social media is connecting because we
Yes.
all we all live in like a foreign country. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like social media has been my lifeline. Like I missed my nephew growing up. I was there like 2 months after he was born, but I've missed so much. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like not that my sister can't send me pictures because she does, but like family and friends as they start growing their families and start moving and experiencing life, you get to kind of live that journey with them to the point where sometimes when we meet up again for the first time in years, we're like, man, that place you went to the other day was amazing. You're able to kind of talk about things because you're part of the journey with them. So I
Mm-hmm.
like that. And then I also like the same inspirational quotes and basically everything that Marilyn said too. What about you, Loveman?
For me, to add on what you said, because I of course appreciate what you like as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the news, the be able to be. What I like is like, for example, the Black experience. I
Mm,
feel like thanks to social media,
yeah.
it was really pivotal in the fact that thanks to social media, as a French, I was able to see that okay, that's also what they experience in America or in Africa or like
Wow.
something like that. What I like is the fact that thanks to social media, sometimes I have faster news thanks to Instagram
It's
than
so
my
true.
than me watching the news on my regular TV. People, because people post, people show their experience. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's also sad when there was like terrorist attack,
Mm-hmm.
like in Syria or something like that. We were able to see people were sharing what was going on,
Yeah.
and then the media had to, I guess, collect everything. But I guess because we just can, you put a city, you can see someone's story and see what's going on in this city, or so that's something that I like as
Mm-hmm.
well. And something that I want to add is thanks to social media, I feel like I save a lot of place that I want to go that I would never know about if someone didn't post a picture about it. Let's be like,
Yup.
I'm like, that was in America. I need to go there. I need to like. That's something that I like about social media. I feel like we can discover so many things, and so yeah, that's something that I want to add on.
That's how I took Karen to one of his Father's Day events or places that he thought was so amazing. How'd you find out? I saw it on somebody's status girl.
You go, girl. You go.
There's nothing wrong with that. All right, you did your research. Thank you for sharing
Right?
that.
It was hard work too. Where you
So,
at? This place got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
so we
So
talked about. I joked a few seconds ago about like seeing things and sometimes having being like, oh wow, and being like and trying and then starting to question yourself.
Mm.
Sometimes you see like so much perfection when you go through some pages and through other social media. So do you think that social media has created this culture of perfection? And how do we fight the urge for ourselves to be, look, and act perfect to when
Hmm.
we're on social media or even in our own life?
I agree. Definitely, it did create this culture of perfection and comparison.
Mm,
And unfortunately, I've been thinking about it on the fact that back in the day, to compare yourself, you needed to watch TV, you needed to go to a
Mm.
store to buy a book, to be influenced by this culture. Like you will have to look through the magazine and all of that. But now it's like those image you consume so much image that go somewhere in your brain. And whether you want it or not, it does create like you do compare. You look at themselves and you will compare yourself or to what you will compare to yourself to what you see, what are you seeing. And
Mhm.
it's unfortunately, and it really takes some not maturity or growth or self-love or being secure. But my belief system is in my Christianity, so
Mhm.
in my faith. So that's what helped me to remind, like, God, when God made me, he didn't make any mistakes. you
amen.
know my journey, I'm under God's timing. Like, but let's be real, because we just consume those image. I do believe that what, I'll be honest, I do it even like it's a discipline for me to not be absorbed by all of that.
I agree. I agree 100%. I feel like it doesn't take any intentionality for all of that to be fed to you, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mhm.
before you had to put effort into going to find
Yeah.
what you're looking for to compare. Now
Mm-hmm.
it's like you open up your phone and it's like, oh, look at that house, look at that car, look at this body, look at this bounce back, look at this hair, look at this. There's so many things that just coming all over you. And it's hard. It's hard, even if you're intentional to try not to be influenced and tell yourself this. It's just a highlight reel. I don't know the full story. It still has an effect. Quick example: I have a friend, talking about you, Kelly, who she would always make these beautiful pillows and have the most perfect spread on her table. And I'd look on it and go, man. And then one day I rested that thought. I'm like, what is that? I admire that. I admire what she's doing. So then I said, okay, well, try to see if you can do it if you like it. So I tried it. I sold 3 pillows, got it out my system. And now whenever she posted her little pillows, I didn't care because I made 3, got it out my system. It wasn't for me. But
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes
That's
be honest with yourself. What is it you're feeling? Why are you feeling it? Is it that you admire it? If you do, then try. You tried it, you liked it. Great, keep doing it. You tried it, you didn't like it. Okay,
good.
but just kind of be mindful that this is the highlight reel and maybe this is something that somebody's having an amazing success in, but
Mhm.
try to find where your successes are so that you're not looking on them and thinking, must be nice.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, it's really hard, and sometimes even now you feel the pressure. Sometimes when you share a picture, I'm gonna take my example. Sometimes I feel like, oh, look, in the back there is a sock. There are some socks on the floor, or like people are gonna say, "Who a mirror is not clean," or whatever. Like it's not.
Talk about me, girl.
I'm not talking about you. It's because I have a mirror too on that side. That's what I was looking at, and it's
Pay
Oh.
me no mind. I'm
no, no,
making.
no. I'm so sorry, Ruth. It was not. It was. So sorry. It was not about you at all.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't listen to me.
So yes, like it's like it creates that it creates that pressure on you of like questioning yourself, or am I good enough? Do I look like this? And this thing of comparison, and it just kills your spirit. It really takes strength, and as Love Mean said, like knowing who you are, getting to know who you are, knowing what are you're also what you're good at, as Renee said, and
Mm-hmm.
what you can do and what you cannot do. Like sometimes I like to joke about it's like sometimes I would post a picture and I would leave the sock. Like I started to do these things, and like sometimes I would keep the sock and like make a joke about it, like
Yeah.
these kids and stuff,
Yeah.
and just trying to be who you are, and not trying to compare yourself um, to anyone's standard. Stay in your lane and just learning to love where you are and who you are. That's very important, and I feel like it's important also sometimes. That's what I'm trying to do this year. We talked about it privately, but I feel like it's good to sometimes take social media breaks. I think
Mm-hmm.
that
Hello.
one of the first person who talked about it is Love Mean to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's important sometimes to just disconnect from this thing. Also, if you feel like you're following people that are um, not they are not bringing any value to you and to what you're trying to accomplish, I feel like sometimes it's good to just unfollow. You know what? Mm-mm, it's not good for
And
me.
I was reading a post this week on social media saying that our generation is the in-between generation, meaning that it was us, we were prior, like all this social media, like we know life before internet. I mean, I'm not trying to age myself like that, but yes, yeah.
Yo.
And we involved with this growth, this increased use of social media. But for I in my job I work in HR, so I have employee that are in the 20. Like when I see the age, I'm like oof, and they're born in 2000. So
Yeah.
those people, that's all they know. And
Mhm.
it saddened me because they, even the way they present themselves, even the way I feel, I believe sometimes it's challenging for them to disconnect themselves as easy for us from social media, from this perception, knowing what is real and what is not. Or even relax on social media. You can be yourself. You don't have to put all those filters. It's
Mhm.
okay to just be, makeup free and show who you truly are. And what is saddened me because I don't think, I wonder if they will have the skills, the social skills to just be able to know, like, it's
Mhm.
not real, it's okay. They can say it, but I'm telling you, in the daily interaction, I feel like you can sense that they don't disconnect from that. It's really morning to night, during their pause, they break, like it's just we I feel like we had the chance to know life, a different type of life, and that's a concern that I have.
Yep. I wonder what our viewers think. I'm gonna ask a question.
Mhm.
Um, do you think that children should have their own social media page? And viewers, I want you to tell me what you think too. I can go first. So I don't show my son on social media yet.
Mhm.
Not saying I never will, but I'm not really inclined to. I I, I sometimes struggle with it because, like I said, I enjoy being able to keep up with my friends and families and know what's going on with them. But I'm just not ready to put him out there. But I do create drive documents, pictures, stuff that send links so people can kind of keep up. And if we're talking into and you say, "How's your baby?" I'll send you a picture and all of that. So for me, I don't think kids should have their own social media page just because of how perverted our world is. Not that you're going to live in fear, but there are predators out there. There's just too much. So for me, it's a no. What about you, ladies?
So in the beginning, I am very private, and I was in the beginning driven by fear, and I was not healthy for me. um, to I felt like it was not healthy for me to be in that place. So the
Mhm.
compromise for me was to put my kids on my social media page and to have a private page. So
Mm.
that's how I control
Mhm.
who, I mean, by the best of my abilities, who can see them and who cannot see them.
Mhm.
But personally, I am not for like for kids having their personal page. But when I talk, I can only speak for myself
Mhm.
and what I'm convinced. But I have seen some cute pages and some people that, I mean, I'm sure they love their children and they want to protect them as well. And it really depends of what you want to do, but also, yeah, there is also a cultural aspect. I know in my culture it's kind of a little more of a taboo to put your kids out there. So
Mhm.
I also keep that in mind, that for me in my culture we are a little more private, a little more suspicious of social media and things like this. So I keep that in mind, as like I speak for myself when I say that. So, but no judgment for anyone who decide to do it, no judgment at all.
Mhm.
Personally, I do not put my daughter on social media. I started. I mean, I put her, but you don't see her face. And I thought that I would change. At first, I like it's just for now. And now she's turning 4, and so on Sunday, and I'm like, well, it's just a game. You don't see like that. You're surprised when you see her because I keep my page public. But we have to remember, some people they have a Instagram for the kid because it's money. Let's be real. Now social media is a business. Maybe we are like old school, but that's the I see a kid on a model agency, project placement, sponsoring for any type of business. So sometimes the parents, the intention is just to create some revenue, maybe for the college fund,
Mhm.
thanks to that's their intention. So I don't judge, but we have to be aware that some people that's what they're thinking, and that may be smart. Maybe we are too old school.
I know. Oh,
Right.
mercy. I'm looking at our little timing, and it's we're almost gonna be cut. But just wanted to reiterate what you've both said, ladies. We are cheering for whatever is comfortable for you or viewers. Just let us know what you think. It's always interesting to know what other people think. I think we have like 2 or so minutes before they kick us out of here. So, do you ladies have anything else that you want to say or ask before we wrap stuff up?
Hmm. So, just one last thought that I wanted to add is that, and we talked about it already, really, but I feel like it's all about balance with social media, and not trying to compete with anyone. And personally, one of the hack that I found is like sometimes I like to enjoy the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I feel like I'm trying not to feel the urge, like, oh, this is a great picture. Oh, this is a great, uh, 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 um, this is a great
Background.
setting, or
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, I'm traveling, so let me show. So it's really like I'm really trying to refrain myself from having this thought and really trying to be present in the moment and enjoy thoroughly what I'm doing for myself and for my family. And sometimes I will post it. Like I usually wait a little bit, but sometimes I will post it, and sometimes I will not. I'll be like, no, this is gonna be my little secret garden. And I feel like whatever you do, you have to um keep sacred, like your peace. Like it's all about your peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do anything because you feel pressure. Don't do anything because you want to compete. Don't do anything if you don't feel comfortable doing it. So that's just my little 2 cents about
I like that. Well, that's it. That's it from us. We're talking about balancing social media presence with your reality. Whatever you do, whatever is comfortable for you, just remember that you are more than enough, and that if something inspires you, go after it, but don't let it crush you. If you liked what we talked about, if you want to hear something different that maybe a perspective we didn't share, go ahead and drop that in our comment section. Don't forget
it.
to like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, see you soon. We are She Who Speaks.